Hey guys, let's try this again. Carolyn again from Body by Banner. I'm having some tech issues today, but we are going to be talking about the most effective exercise. And what I've come to find for myself, as well as like hundreds of clients that I've worked with over the last 5+ years as a personal trainer and yoga instructor, and just the tools that keep them consistent and keep them on track with their exercise and getting the best results, really. Not just in the short term, but for years. There's clients that I have worked with for over 3 years, 4 years, and they are continuing to get results because of these tools that I'm going to go over today. So I'm not going to be going over specific exercises, but I will be going over specific tools so that you can take this and apply it to your life, right? Because it's hard to take maybe specific exercises that I love and then expect you to implement them because they're maybe not something that you love. So I had a bunch of tech issues. I had a call coming in. Can you please hit like if you can hear me and see me? I'm having all sorts of tech issues today. I'm like, people do not call me when I'm on Facebook Live. So I'm kind of trying to make sure that you guys can hear me because we've had so many issues with tech today. I don't know what it is. It's the gloomy weather here in Chicago making the Wi-Fi extra weak. I'm not sure. So, and if you're on, if you can just put in the comments where you're listening from and watching from, that would be awesome. Then I can kind of know where you're from. You can put in any questions in there. And then again, if you're having any problems, let me know too in the comments so that I can make sure to maybe change over to that data instead of the Wi-Fi if we're having more problems. So, okay, let's jump into it. We're going to talk about what I find to be the most effective exercise. And it has 2 parts to it. That most effective exercise really comes down to what you're going to do day after day, what you can be consistent with. So consistency is absolutely key with being the most effective. You're not going to get any results from something that you're not going to do consistently. So what it comes down to is what you stay consistent with. And that directly ties into point 2, which is what kind of exercise and movement do you love? Because what you love, you're going to naturally be consistent with because you crave it, you enjoy it. You don't dread it. You find it really positive part of your life. So you seek it out rather than resent it and push it away. So those are the 2 things, consistency and something that you truly love and enjoy. Because what we love and enjoy, we're going to be consistent with. So they just cycle into each other and that kind of repetition will reap results and be absolutely effective over the long term. I found it completely true for myself. And absolutely true for the clients that I've worked with that continue to see results over years. So what are some things that we can break down about that though? Because it's kind of abstract, right? How can we be consistent? And that is absolutely completely what this challenge that I just am launching that's going to be starting on May 8th is all about. It's all about consistency, you guys. And it's as little as 5 minutes a day of intentional movement for any level. So it can be for anyone that's beginning or completely fallen off track and hasn't exercised in years can join this challenge, to someone who's an expert, super exerciser all the time, super hardcore, CrossFitter, whatever. They can be doing this challenge too. So this is for everyone. But the whole point of it is to build consistency and super solid habits over the 21 days to carry over into the life that lasts for years and really keep getting results for the long term. Because I am not about quick fixes. This is not a 21-day quick fix thing where I'm gonna just like expect you to get these big changes and then drop off and not have the results last. No way. I'm all about lifestyle changes, and it's just a nice way to kind of get a huge boost and support from a bunch of people and coaching from myself so that you can be set up for success long term with lifestyle changes and habits that are super solid. After you get to implement them day after day for 21 days straight, you're going to be set up and ready to go to continue those habits. So that's what the challenge is all about, consistency. And how do we do that? We make it super easy. We make it just like you can hardly avoid it. It's so easy to just get into your day. And that's why I'm saying at least 5 minutes. I'm going to encourage people to do up to 20 minutes a day if they can. And to really honor the ebbs and flows of our lives. So being prepared with a whole list of things and a whole bunch of resources that they can pull from their tool belt and just be ready to implement on the fly whenever the time comes up, and being intentional about even setting apart time to get in that 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes every single day. And then, like I said, honoring the ebbs and flows, because that's where the magic happens. If we can really push when we have the opportunities and really challenge ourselves, do a really hard workout, maybe for 20, 30 more minutes, and really push on those days when we feel really strong and feeling really good, and using heavier weights, and really being honest and challenging ourselves when we have those opportunities, then we earn the right to be kind of not have a hard day the next day, right? Like just doing 5 minutes of movement. And we earn the right and we earn the easy of not having to push ourselves super hard every single day. But when we take the opportunities where we feel really good and we can do a little bit more, do it, because that's going to make it easier in the long term. And then you can have those days where it's just like, it's super busy or you're traveling and you don't have to worry about it, but you stay consistent. You honor the ebbs and flows. So there's some days where you're going to be a rock star and do like a super tough workout, and you're going to challenge your body and get results in terms of your muscles getting stronger, your conditioning getting better. And then there's other days or weeks where you're going to be just kind of putting in what your body feels comfortable with and being really careful about taking care of yourself and slowing down, doing yoga, walking, stretching, and not pushing yourself, because it's more of a time of ebbing and you're not flowing as much. And that's okay, because you've already put in some hard work. You've worked hard so that you can now rest well and you can earn the easy. Okay, so that's kind of some tidbits for consistency, is just to make it super easy. So having resources at your fingertips that you can just grab from. And this challenge is going to be like a no-brainer. You're going to have a workout calendar. You're going to have full-length videos to follow along with if that's your jam and you want to follow along with me and have it just pre-prescribed. You're going to have a support system. You're going to have me coaching you and answering any questions you have or giving tips. So that's where it's super easy, makes it easy to be consistent, is when you have all the resources and framework set up so that you can just plug and go. The other thing is just to be okay with having it be 5 minutes. And that's a hard one for some people. They think, why even do that? Yeah, like I've had people say that to me. It's just like, I'm not gonna do 5 minutes of exercise. That's nothing. That's not enough. And I get it. People want to go hard or go home kind of things, and they think, I have to do at least 30 minutes to an hour. And yes, like I said, there are days when you can do that, and when it's awesome when you can do that, because you're going to get more results, right? When you can push a little bit harder, challenge yourself. But is it really realistic to expect yourself to do that every single day? Probably not. And is it realistic to expect yourself to do at least 5 minutes? Yeah, I think we can all find 5 minutes. I know that I am completely guilty of wasting way more than 5 minutes on social media every single day. It's something I'm working on, but if you can just transfer some of that time that we can waste so easily on social media, for just as one example, and say, I'm gonna do at least 5 minutes, it can change your life, you guys, because you start to feel good, you start to move your body, you start to get momentum, and it can just set you on fire and just set you up for success. And not just in physical results I'm talking about life-changing, impactful inspiration, where you just feel like you have momentum going in your life, with your work, with your relationships. You just feel better. So who doesn't want that? Okay, so that's about consistency. And the second thing that really ties into it, like I said, the consistency part is always and the love part, like doing something that you love. These two things, like being consistent and finding what you love, feed into each other so that it's effective, because it's something that's going to last. It's a way of being. It's not just like the short-term quick fix. It becomes a way of being for you, is this moving every single day and having it be a lifestyle. And finding what you love, again, is unique for you. That's why I said I'm not going to be jumping on here and giving you, this super scripted workout plan. I could do that, but I think it's a disservice to you, because you need to find what you love, and you need to find what really resonates with you, and that's something that you're going to keep coming back to, because that finding something that you love is going to, thanks for the love, by the way, is going to keep you consistent, so that, again, they feed into each other, right? So for me, this is just a little story. Growing up, I played soccer from, I think, probably the age of 5 or 6. My dad helped start the the soccer club in our town in South Bend. It was the MSA, Michiana Soccer Association. So I was playing and exposed to soccer from like the day I was born. I think my mom even went to like a game the day I was born, you know, like it was just part of my life. It was in my blood, just playing soccer. And I played through sophomore year of college, and then I quit because I didn't love it anymore. So I loved it. It was my form of consistent way of moving and exercising and being a part of a team from when I was super little, from like 5, 6 years old, through grade school. I was homeschooled, so that for me it was like a huge part of my social development growing up. That was where I got to play on different clubs, you know, for spring and fall and summer. And then in high school, it was not just playing for my high school team, it was also playing for still MSA and then other higher level teams. But like to continue that, it was like indoor soccer all year round. I had consistent form of exercise through soccer and I loved it. And then I went to college, and it was a combination of things, but I gradually fell out of love with it. And it became a chore, and it became something that I didn't love anymore. And it was injuring my body. It was a combination of like playing for school, but they didn't have good facilities. We had a terrible field that was like rock. So like running with cleats on like clay fields that were super, super tough on my joints. My knees were killing me all the time. And it took a lot of time from my studies, and I wasn't loving it. It wasn't where there was a team that was really negative. So I had to shift. I had to pivot and find something different that I love. I quit the soccer team, quit the college soccer team, and I decided, you know, like I need to find something else that I love because I want to move my body. What I missed was doing something outside that felt good and was part of like a team, and I loved that part from high school and from growing up, and I wasn't having that anymore. And so as soon as I stopped loving soccer, I was like, I got to make a switch. And I don't know what it was about me at that age. I think I just knew intuitively that it wasn't for me. I knew it was hurting my body. I was getting a lot of injuries, and so that was part of it. But it wasn't immediate. I didn't find the next thing that I loved right away. I had a couple of years of college where I was really struggling with, you know, that's a whole other story, with like my eating habits and having some disordered eating. And then at the end, you know, like by the time I moved to my internship year in New Haven in Connecticut, I did a year at the Yale New Haven internship for my dietetics internship, and there was hiking there, and I discovered this love of hiking and just being outside and moving my body. So hiking was my first thing that I just fell in love with after soccer, and then from there, when I moved to Chicago, it was like running along the lake and just having something that I loved, and it was this routine of running, being outside. I had a running group with my buddies, Tim and Suchandra, and like being with them, it was like I found something that I loved, so it was super easy to stick with and be consistent. And from there, I found yoga, and it was just, again, another love affair that I fell in love with. And it's like a magnet. It just draws you in. But it takes time. It took exploration. Like I said, it took me like a couple years of college, my junior and senior year, as I finished school after I quit soccer, to really discover, you know, I kind of tried a little bit of yoga, I tried a little bit of Pilates, I even tried belly dancing, which is a story. I tried hip hop dance class, I tried a lot of things, and they were fun, they were interesting, but they weren't my love, and I didn't stay consistent with them, and because I didn't stay consistent with them, I was probably the heaviest I ever was in my life, because I wasn't doing consistent exercise that I loved. So again, back to that, those two things, consistency and finding exercise that you love, are super key. Another quick story, or just like an example, I think, because I think it really helps to have stories or examples to bring this home, is just like seeing my clients, the clients that I see doing the very best, that just are kicking ass and getting stronger and getting results, and like just really showing up in the world completely fully, and not just physical results, but just really growing in their life and then in their work and in their relationships. And they're the ones, when they go on vacation, you guys, they don't kill it on vacation with their workouts. They're absolutely prioritizing movement when they're on vacation, and they're absolutely prioritizing getting back into regular exercise as soon as they return from vacation. But just a little secret, the people who usually succeed are the ones who give themselves some breaks, because they know they love that. They're going to naturally go back to it. They're going to go back to that exercise, and they're going to stay consistent. So they kind of go back down to the bare minimum during vacation, give their body some rest, some recovery time, stick with movement, where it's walking, hiking, whatever they have available to them that's really enjoyable, maybe kayaking, whatever it is. And maybe some quick 5, 10, 15 at the most minute workouts in their hotel room or gym, wherever they are. But not even that, if they get one, I usually consider it a success if it's like a week-long vacation, because it's just forming that habit. It's just keeping the wheels really well oiled or greased. What is it? I'm thinking of an analogy and that's not coming very easily. But just keeping the grooves really fluid and super easy to get right back into. So as soon as they come back from the vacation, they're right back into the consistent exercise, and they're prioritizing that, scheduling it into their day, making it a consistent thing. Okay, so those are 2 examples, one from my life, one from my client's life. I hope those have been helpful for you, but again, yeah, just to bring it home, consistency and finding something that you love are absolutely, for me, the 2 non-negotiables of effective exercise, because you're gonna stick with it. You're going to get long-term commitment, and that's the only way you're going to see change, is when you consistently put in effort, even if it's small effort, day after day after day. So we don't change our bodies overnight, so it's just has to be consistent, always putting in a little bit of effort. Some days you can maybe put in a little bit more effort, and I totally encourage you to do that when you're feeling good, and then that earns you the right to kind of ease off when life kind of throws you a curveball, you get sick, you're on vacation, those kinds of things. I think that's about all I wanted to have to share with you, but I am super pumped, you guys. I would love, if you're not signed up already, we already have close to 100 people signed up for the Commit to Fit free exercise consistency challenge, and they're all starting to jump in the Facebook group that we have. We've got a closed Facebook group where I will be doing free coaching for you for the 21 days of the challenge. We start May 8th. It's completely 100% free, and I would love for you to jump in. People are inviting their friends. It's really fun to see people inviting their friends and seeing them sign up and write me some questions and all that kind of stuff. So it's like fun for me to meet friends of friends and family, and to see this team and community building in the closed Facebook group, and what's going to even grow and when we start next Monday. So there's still time to sign up for that. I really encourage you to do so. You're going to get free full-length workouts, which I really feel is kind of a benefit of the challenge, because a lot of times I've seen challenges, like fitness challenges, where they just throw you like video demos of like exercises and not a full workout video where you can follow along with someone. And I feel like time after time, clients that I do workout programming for, long distance, sending them a video during especially those times where they're really busy or struggling to get back into their routine helps them so much, because they can just plug that in, turn it on, whatever, put it on YouTube and follow along, and they're so much more likely, they tell me, to finish the workout because they have a full-length workout versus just a quick demo to do. So that's going to be, I think, a big benefit of this challenge, is that they're full-length workout videos that I'm going to be sending you, and they're brand new ones. I have 8 already done. I'm going to be doing more during the challenge. I'm going to do Facebook Live educations in the private group, and we're going to be doing a bit of nutrition education along with it, like pre and post workout nutrition. So I'm going to throw a little bit of my RD nutrition knowledge in there for you guys. It's not just going to be completely exercise. And of course, we're going to go into a little bit more of the mindset of like just creating these habits and what's coming up as our obstacles, and how can we really live the life that would love to live, and be our fullest, most vibrant selves. So I think that's about it. Oh, and it's for all levels. You don't have to be a super, exerciser. You can be a beginner. You can be getting back into exercise. You don't need any weights. There's body weight exercise or workouts. There's a few of those. There's some with weights. But there's no real equipment that you need for this challenge. So let me know any questions. You can put comments in the video in the comments below. I will get back to it if I see them pop up later. And I think that's it for today. But please join us. It's going to be so much fun. And we get started May 8th. So sign up, tag a friend, send a friend or family member email letting them know about the challenge, and get them to join you and help support you to reaching your goals too. All right, I'm going to say goodbye. Ciao, guys. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.